So what you had said was this book has just felt like a noose, slowly getting tighter, like it's hard to breathe. Upside down smiley face.
That's exactly how it felt.
Hey, page turners. You're listening to Pages Across the Prairies with Adriana
and Christine,
your virtual book club where two besties dive into stories and spill all our thoughts.
Think of it like your coziest book club, but without the dress code. So grab your book, pour your favorite drink, and let's talk chapters.
Hi, so today we're going to be discussing our spoiler-free episode of Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine by Gail Honeyman.
So it's a Reese's book club pick. So if you don't know about that, Reese Witherspoon has a book club. And this is just one of the books that I presume they read.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think we've read one other book that was in her book club or like was a pick for it. You remember it?
It was The Nightingale, I thought.
That seems like an easy one.
That was it.
So both good books, I think. So
yeah, two different vibes for sure.
Yeah, no kidding. I first found out about her book club when she was hiring a librarian for it. And people were talking about how that would be the ultimate job.
My goodness. You could really, nail that job.
I don't know about that, but pretty cool. So, I don't know. We don't usually try and specifically pick her picks, but whenever I see that little stamp, I'm like, oh, it's going to be a good read, I bet.
Yeah. Oh, I had no idea. I should have paid more attention. And now I'm curious to look up her list.
I should look at her list, actually. So, for a little summary on it.
Eleanor is a socially awkward, isolated woman who lives strictly by routine. Work, frozen pizza, and vodka. Beneath her seemingly fine exterior lies a deep emotional trauma from a very, very tragic childhood. When she and a coworker help an elderly man who collapses on the street, the small acts of kindness begin to pull Eleanor out of her shell. As she learns to open up and confronts her pain, Eleanor discovers that being fine isn't always enough, and that true healing comes from connection and, most importantly, self-acceptance.
Oh, that's good. I like how you worded that. It just explains how the book flows really well.
Thank you.
Yeah, good little refresher.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so how did you listen or...
I was on audiobook. Yeah,
okay.
Audiobook and in the car.
Did you like the audio?
I did. It's, the narrator had, a little bit of an accent, so that threw me off a little bit. It always takes my brain a moment to, adjust. But I really liked audio. However, I think I would have really enjoyed this book reading paperback as well.
So I did just want to ask, did you like the accent that the author did? Did that help bring Eleanor's character to life?
I think so. I think in this case, when I was listening to it, it definitely livened her up.
Yeah, she was kind of monotone, which I think a lot of people with depression tend to be.
Yes.
So it's not surprising. Well, I read the book online. I did an ebook. And then once I had finished it, the audiobook through Libby became available for me. Yeah, I wanted to hear what it sounded like, so I listened to maybe 5 minutes of it. Maybe it's because I was already finished the book and I'd already imagined everything. I didn't like it.
That's fair.
I didn't picture her. I mean, she was it London?
Somewhere around there. Somewhere in that, because this book uses the word niggling, and you know where those books are set.
Yeah, it's Gail Honeyman is a Scottish author.
Yeah, it's set in Glasgow.
Oh, there we go. Which is weird. I actually didn't picture that very well. I was picturing UK, but not specifically Glasgow.
Yeah, I didn't actually connect the dots. I pictured it to be a European country with the big double-decker buses and all that kind of stuff, but I didn't pinpoint Scotland.
No, I didn't either, and I'm pretty sure it told you off the start, pretty close to the start. Anyway, yeah. So I do think, probably two different experiences between the audio and reading. Yeah. So I'm curious what you rated this book.
So I rated this one a 7 out of 10.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, it was... Yeah, I don't know if I should go on until the next episode. So what do you rate it?
Yeah, I don't know either what all I can say. I think I'm going to stick at a 7, and for me, the rating dropped off right at the end, and I know you know why I'm frustrated with the ending. And we'll discuss that more later. I'm mad about the ending. It's a 7 for me. The rest of the book, though, really good.
Yeah, it was a good book. There's lots of deep, relatable loneliness that someone might find themselves drawn to. But
yeah, I mean, like I said when I made one of our posts, how the title is she's completely fine. I think everybody, well, I don't know, maybe just me, but you have a moment where somebody's how are you doing? And it's well, I'm on the verge of just about tears, but I am at work and I'm front counter and we're not going to get into this right now. And so you're
Exactly.
fine. So I feel like so many people said, oh, I'm fine, when they're in fact not fine.
And that's something I think that gets brought up, which I don't think is a spoiler because I think that just comes to the title. You know, you realize not everybody's fine, and that's just the easy thing to say.
No, and I think for Eleanor, she really is struggling with proper perception of the world. So this idea of being fine, she didn't, I don't know that she really understood what that meant either, what being fine means. She just hears all of us say it, and so she's fine too.
Yeah, I think that's great. That's a really good way to put it.
And it leads me into one of my quotes, if I can pull that up.
Yes, please.
Because there were times just in her division of like not properly understanding the world that I could relate to her.
Yeah?
Yeah. Okay, so here's one. I tried to fathom his expression. I find it hard to work out people's expressions sometimes, which is something that I related to so much. I'm not very good with my expressions. Like, I don't ever try and control them. I just, like, what I'm thinking just shows up on my face. And so I think it creates a difficulty in sometimes understanding other people's expressions for me. You just see that a lot in the book, where she's just, like, at an odds, kind of, with understanding what's going on around her or how normal humans should be functioning. Normal.
Yeah. For sure.
I'll go into the rest of my quotes in a minute here, but I did, in researching this book, some of her characteristics did fall along the line of autism.
Okay.
So there were people wondering if she had autism. She does not. Well, the author, according to the author, and I mean the author created the character, so
yeah.
The author says that she does not. It was just more a result of a traumatic upbringing and more of like the nurture part of her childhood and her life, creating that behavior, I guess.
Yeah, wow, that's insane. I mean, I know that it happens, but it's crazy how much a childhood just affects who you become as a person, obviously. But it's just insane.
Yeah. The author said, in nature versus nurture, this was more the nurture outcome for Eleanor here.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
She was an intelligent character, I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, she's very good at her job. Very intelligent. She just has a lot of
quirks.
Yeah.
She's quirky.
That's the thing. She's a misfit, she says. Very quirky.
Yeah. She is, I don't know how to, she was definitely a likable character, but I was surprised when I was like, oh, I actually am enjoying this character at this point.
Yeah, it took a while to like her, but I think that is how people in the book maybe feel too. I'm not sure.
I would agree 100%.
Oh, I really like how the author wrote this book, because it gave you a chance to see what maybe other people saw and then actually get to know the real her. Right,
and I think that it was such an underlying theme of we don't often give people that chance or get to know people where it's judgment up front. And she was a bit off-putting, certainly, and standoffish. I think sometimes intentionally so.
She's very blunt.
Super blunt, but she's not always wrong in her views or thoughts. She just doesn't really sugarcoat anything.
Yeah, and it really shows how fast people are to judge by how people look.
Yeah, and the one person who kind of pushed past that judgment made a world of difference.
That's all it takes is one person.
Yeah, that's true. And he was like a very lovable character, that one.
Yes, agreed. Yeah.
Okay, so do you have your quotes up?
I do. I only have two. Because I was listening to this book in the car, I didn't actually catch all the ones I wanted.
Okay.
But the two I have is, well, I know that this 5 words comes from a bigger quote, and maybe you have it, but I really just like the saying that eyelids are just flesh curtains.
Oh, that's so disgusting. Did I send that to you?
You did, and I was like, yes, I love that.
Yeah, I don't think I have it saved, but that's disgusting. The whole passage, she goes on a lot of tangents, which I love about her, and I think it adds comedic relief to the story that's very heavy at times. But she describes how you're always, your eyes are always, what did she say, open or staring or looking or something? Like you're just closing the curtain. That's just disgusting.
Disgusting. I think I have it here.
I'm still mad about that. Thanks for bringing that back into my life.
No problem, anytime. All right, so, yes. All right, if you're ready. I closed my eyes. Eyelids are really just flesh curtains. Your eyes are always on, always looking. When you close them, you're watching the thin, veiled skin of your inner eyelid rather than staring out at the world. It's not a comforting thought.
No, I had trouble going to sleep that night.
Oh, I love that, though. It's so true. I love having comparisons to, our unassuming body parts.
Yeah, well, and that's what I mean. She says these things that are wildly uncomfortable or that people don't want to hear, but she not wrong.
No, not wrong at all.
And I like yeah, the comparison. That's funny. Okay, what's your other one?
The other one was time only blunts the pain of loss, it doesn't erase it.
That's a good one. I do remember. I don't think I saved that one, but I remember, yeah, when she said that, and it's so very true.
It's so true, because nothing ever gets erased, but time can make it just feel a little less hard.
I think it's such a respectful, it should almost like whenever somebody's in mourning or something, they should hear that quote. Or sorry, whenever somebody is around somebody that is in mourning.
Yeah.
You know, you'll be like, oh, it's been 2 weeks. Shouldn't you be fine now?
You know, it can take a long time.
Yeah.
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 Right.
And just a gentle reminder that it's still there.
Yeah.
Okay, so for mine, obscenity is a distinguishing hallmark of a sadly limited vocabulary.
That's a good one. I remember that one. I like that.
Cute.
Yeah.
And I obviously had to include this one because it's about libraries. Libraries are life-enhancing places of wonder.
It is. That's a good quote, too.
Yeah, it's
Agreed.
funny because it's in a passage where she's kind of trashing libraries. So she's like, they're actually great. I just think the books are dirty and I don't want to touch them.
Honestly, though, relatable sometimes.
I saw a post that was like, it said something about... you were selling yourself as like a book bestie, but like all your not likable, you know, it was like a spin on that. Your
Yes.
not likable characteristics. And she said something about, oh, I'll read books in the bath or something. And everybody was enraged. They're like, I'm not going to lend you my books or she'll break the spine. And for me, like, I'm that person who will like eat cheesy like Cheetos or Doritos and be read. So I'm not with a library book. I've learned the hard way, but like, I'm the reason Eleanor won't go to libraries.
Yeah, I don't blame her for this lightest little anything, because some of those books, and it's like, who has touched this? And they have probably sneezed all over it.
They're always, like, I always find them in exceptional quality. I mean, you do hear horror stories, and I've seen horror stories of them returned and not, but the ones that are that go through circulation are in good quality. Yeah, I'm always surprised that it's not a single stain on the book.
It's impressive.
It is. And I know one time, like, because I worked for libraries for a bit, one time they were like, somebody had sent in circulation a book that was not an amazing, like, it wasn't horrendous, but they had sent out this loan, and they're like, no, we do not want that. You need to keep, just keep the books in better standing, or not be circulating them. So I thought that was pretty good.
I like that.
Eleanor would be proud. Okay. I looked out the window. People were shopping, talking on mobiles, pushing prams. The world just went on regardless of what happened. I can't remember exactly when. I imagine she was going through something traumatic or thinking about it anyway, but I
that one sits really deeply, because it's, I mean, we've all been through some kind of trauma of some sort. The world just keeps going as usual.
Yeah, it's sad. Oh, it might have been off the start. No, but I do know she was saying like so this book, trigger warning, does deal with suicide or suicide ideations, and it starts off right with her talking about the idea of suicide and like just the world moving on kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And it's I don't know, sad.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, there's a lot of hard topics.
There really is, and that's why it's like sometimes that comedic relief that Eleanor brings unintentionally.
She does.
She does. It kind of softens it because there's some really lovable characters. There's one character in this novel that's not lovable, but I'm thinking, is there anybody else?
No, because the people who are could just like maybe not redeem themselves.
Oh, except for that I don't want to spoil it, but the gentleman at the funeral, shall I say? Because that's what he's not likable.
No, he is the least likable actually of pretty much all of them. Except for the most one. You'll see. Read the book and you'll know what we're talking about.
Yeah, and I think at that time, like I had said, no, I can't say it. It's just gonna spoil, so I can't say anything.
Next time.
Yeah, next time. We'll rant about him later. But yeah, otherwise, like this community starts to form in the novel, and it's just all really lovable people, and that really helps, I think, with what the main character's going through.
Yeah, it's not exactly a feel-good book, but there's a lot of moments where it does feel like maybe things will be fine.
Yeah, it does. Like a lot of times, and you're just waiting for that other shoe to drop the whole time.
Oh, 100%. I'm just on the edge of my seat.
Yeah. Like, what did I send to you? I can't remember what I like in this book too. I think it's just something like, I just feel like it's like a noose around your neck.
Yes.
Yeah.
What it was, and it just keeps getting tighter and tighter.
Because you're just waiting to figure out like what this story behind Eleanor, what she's lived through, like what's going on. And also with her kind of, she's not always an observant person, and she's like weirdly not trusting but also trusting, so you're just really on edge all the time.
Yeah, like seemingly innocent of just like, who's gonna...
Yeah, she's kind of childlike that way.
Yeah. So what you had said was, this book has just felt like a noose, slowly getting tighter. It's hard to breathe. Upside down smiley face.
That's exactly how it felt. Now that I'm out of it, now that you finished the book, it's not as much. But it's also because it's so like, it's uncomfortable. It's like kind of grossly uncomfortable. Usually I'll rush through books, but this one I was like, I want to be out of this moment, but I don't want to dive into what's coming because I don't think I'm gonna like it.
That's so interesting though, because usually, you know, you get through the book and it's done, but like we switched this time. I got through this book in like 2 days.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah, you were quick.
It's just, usually I'm just like, I gotta pause, can't.
That's actually funny. Because I'm often like, oh, can't relate. But this one, I was like, I was really fearful of what was to come.
Yeah, I wanted to speed read it because I didn't want it sitting on my heart that much longer.
No, but I will say, like, the ending, you know, once you've kind of figured out what's going on and what's caused Eleanor to be the way she is, it's not as, what's the word for it? The author's still a little bit gentler in how she describes it, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah. You're not as thrown into that moment. Don't be quite as if you don't have to be completely afraid. Like, it's not a nice, is that correct to say? It's not a nice novel?
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. Nice novels would be like Cerulean Sea.
Yeah, there we go.
This is not one that's like that. But
No.
it's still
Yeah,
really
she's not super vivid is what I'm trying to say. In when the character goes to relive that trauma, or if she does, I don't know.
But like in some of our other reads, like, well, we just finished Slash Beauties 2, that goes into vivid detail. So
It does, and honestly, in some ways, it was just like a mental thing. In this one, it is too, but it's, I don't know, I found it a little bit easier to separate in some ways. She wasn't like really bringing you in mentally to how that character might have felt at the moment.
no,
At times she was, but
we were more watching it play out rather than being in it.
yeah, and at a point, Eleanor does. She dissociates, like she's literally above her body.
Yeah.
Watching.
Yeah.
That's so weird because I don't, like that was, don't want to spoil anything.
No, it's so hard.
I was just thinking of Earthlings.
Oh, yeah.
And we should actually speak about if this book reminds us of any other books, but since I'm talking about Earthlings, there's a moment in that book too where the character disassociates and moves out of their physical form. And it just brought me back to that mentally.
I forgot about that.
But so the difference is in one moment when the character's, in this book, when the character's disassociating, it's when she's thinking about, it's not currently happening. So it's so weird to me. And in the other book, it is currently happening. So it's just so weird to me that it totally makes sense. I'm not surprised, but that you can relive a trauma so strongly that you can like actually be lurched out of your physical form.
Yeah, it's frightening.
It is, but I think it speaks volumes to you know, how much it can continue to affect a person. Because she was 30 something in this novel.
30, and I think she turned 31 or something like that. She had a birthday, so
Yeah.
But it'll just stick with you forever, and that's really, really sad.
Yeah, it is. Anyhow,
Yeah,
there's a lot of like thoughtful moments of silence with this book.
there is. There's a lot to think about in like a mournful but relatable way.
Yeah. So did this book remind you of any other books that we've read?
Like, probably,
Nothing comes to mind?
but nothing comes to mind.
I don't like to lump them all together, but we do read a lot of mental health books.
Yeah.
Or books, not self-help mental health, fictional mental health books that center around mental health. So it's interesting to me how frequently authors, because I don't know if I could do this, authors seem to really get this tone. Like the characters all seem to have a similar tone.
Yeah.
They're kind of like flat almost in their emotions, which is so characteristically symptomatic of depression.
For sure.
And mental health issues, and I found in most of our mental health books the authors write it really well. So My Year of Rest and Relaxation was one.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I never considered that one.
Earthlings, in the sense that I don't know if her character was quite as flat like she was, but in the sense of just a character who's really going through something mentally and has the weirdest perspectives. Eleanor's not quite as off the beaten track as that one, but
No. Yeah. Earthlings lady is, what's the word that's past quirky?
yeah, far past quirky. That one's. But that's kind of the same with. Oh, I can't say it because it's a swear word. But night, female dog, past quirky.
Yes. Oh my goodness, agreed.
And then just the Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath.
Good
And
connection.
just the flat, like, these are very clearly depressed characters
Yeah.
in how they speak and how they view the world. But also, like, kind of, what's the word for it? They're always, oh, I know best, though, you know?
Mhm.
Bell Jar and this one was like, they were kind of like, oh, what's the word for it? I wish I could say it. Like, they think they have the mental high ground, kind of. They can explain their way out of anything, these two
Yeah.
characters.
Can't think of that word.
Yeah, I don't know. Eleanor didn't try so much, but it was just like, she's like, I'm fine. I'm not mentally insane. I know that it can't talk back, okay?
He knows. Yeah, it's that's true. I wonder if all these authors have struggled with mental health themselves, or if someone close to them have. I mean, I know a couple of them have, but because they all nail it the same
Sylvia
way.
Plath is pretty
Exactly.
self-explanatory.
Yeah, like I know a lot of people in my life with mental health and depression and stuff, and it's like, yeah, when it gets real bad, it's all very monotone.
Well, it tends to go. Well, and I think that's part of why Eleanor struggles to connect with people, because I think when it gets bad, it is just difficult to see outside of your own little pool that you're in. But I find that sometimes it can go the other way too, where people are super charismatic.
Yes, for sure, 100%.
I don't know. I'm trying to think. I don't think we've read a book where it went that way.
Not yet, but I want to find one now.
And now I kind of do too. Because, yeah, it just, these authors write it really, really well. Where it's like the characters almost sound the same because it's so symptomatic of their condition.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably if you read any book or any biography by any comedian ever.
True.
Yeah.
Very true.
Okay, I'm trying to think, is there anything else that we wanted to discuss with this book? I didn't dive into a huge amount of research with it. Something I did want to mention, just like a little praise for this book, was the words that she used. Eleanor loves to do crosswords, and you can tell in this novel, and there were so many words, and I don't know if it's partly because like there's words that are not used as much in like in English. It is English. What am I trying to say here? But that don't originate, well, a lot of our words don't.
It's just words we don't really use in Canada.
That's what I'm trying to say.
How to
Like,
word
a
that
lot of
better.
our words are stolen and borrowed, but I'm just, words that I haven't heard that I'm not familiar with. Okay?
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah, so, but I researched a lot of them, and the interesting thing is a lot of times when I look up a word, I'm like, okay, this makes sense. You know, when you look at the definition. Some of them you had to look, for me, I had to look a little bit further as into how does this actually, I can't explain it any better than that, but the definition didn't point blank make sense without actually understanding the word.
Yeah, there was one word I Googled too, and I was like, I'm so confused.
Oh, here's an example of one. I don't have the word on hand, but what was the word? Her jacket that she kept putting on.
Jerkin.
Her jerkin. Okay, so you look it up and it's like a sleeveless.
Yeah.
But I'm like, there's no way that
No.
Eleanor's, and just wait, she is, and everybody's gonna get mad about this. But I didn't, in my image of Eleanor, she's not walking around in a sleeveless vest. And so I go to Reddit and you go and read, and they're like, actually, like, it's quite commonly what like a windbreaker, or like it has sleeves. Quite commonly. It doesn't always have to, but so just in looking up the definition, though, I wasn't satisfied with what I came across. Yeah, this was somebody else. I'm pretty sure that yeah, it was from this book. They're like, WTF is a jerkin.
Right? Yeah. It must just be a word for jacket, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna mispronounce this one, but a bunch of people are like, it's a Gillette, a Gillet. And people just casually keep throwing that. It's like, I don't know what that is.
That's not in our record.
I do know what a waistcoat is, but it's just a light jacket, sleeves optional.
Okay. I'm gonna picture she had sleeves.
I am too. It's not very practical for Eleanor to be running around with.
And it's like cold, rainy Scotland. You want sleeves.
Yeah, exactly. I guess just the last thing is just what drew you into reading this book. I can't remember. I believe it was you who recommended it and then recommended it again, right?
Yeah, I can't remember. I saw it somewhere a while ago, long time ago, and then I put it on a list, and then you had compiled that list onto a Google Drive.
An attempted TBR that probably has 6 items that I've not kept up with.
Oh yeah, it's definitely not kept up with. But I mean,
No.
I found it on there, and I was like, yeah, let's read that.
And I just think it's so funny too, because we always seem to follow a theme. So Eleanor, main character last book, Eleanor, main character this book, and in both books, somebody gets locked in a wardrobe. Did you put?
That's the connection.
Yeah.
I have been trying to figure it out. Like, since you said, oh, there's a connection to him, like,
Yeah, I couldn't exactly tell you.
no, oh my goodness.
I just think it's funny how that always seems to happen.
It really makes me happy how there's always a theme. But yeah, the reason why I wanted to read this book was just because of the cover. It was like, you know, the plain blue background and this faceless girl on the cover that was dressed very simply when it says completely fine. I'm like, well, obviously this character is not fine. I want to know why. Once I got started and finished the book, another draw-in I think would just be the emotional healing like arc that I follow, and just her quiet strength is what keeps me really interested.
Yeah, definitely a quiet strength. Like, she's a super strong character, even though she certainly doesn't believe that she is. Okay, let me just see. Okay. So we didn't mention, I usually mention the genre off the top of it. It's a fiction novel. I guess I'm looking at it right now. And if you Google it, it says a romance novel. It's not. I mean, I don't want to say spoilers, but it does open with her being like, oh, he's wandered into my life. What a surprise. I mean,
It's true.
does it have to be, I'm trying to be really careful with my words here, but does it have to be, tell me if you think it's a romance novel.
Yeah, let's leave it at that.
Let's leave it at that. Anyway, but I feel like that's just an accident that this is listed when I Google it. But psychological fiction, that's the correct genre for it.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it is.
If you enjoy books that deal with mental health, this one's for you. Or mental health, trauma, those kind of go hand in hand. If you enjoy a story of an underdog or quirky characters, this one's for you.
I think that sums it up perfectly. Awesome. Well, stay tuned for our episode full of spoilers, and we'll be posting that next week.
Yeah, so we will see you next week, and I am so excited to discuss that book.
Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe. See you next time.
Thanks for flipping through pages across the prairies with us. Until next time, keep your tea warm, your bookmark handy, and if you enjoyed today's chat, like, share, and subscribe to join us again.